I think the lower demand is largely a reflection of production issues in Argentina. Argentina is a very large soybean oil producer and exporter around the world, and they've essentially had a crop disaster this year with soybean oil. So there's just less soybean oil available in the world because of that. So I believe this is just a temporary blip. If you look at USDA's brand new projections for the next marketing year, they have some recovery there. So hopefully once we have more supplies available, that'll allow continued increases in consumption. Yes, the impact of the U.S. soybean oil exports, probably minimal. We don't export a lot of soybean oil out of this country, and what we do export could see some decrease just with the increase in domestic consumption within the United States. So I don't expect a lot of change in U.S. soybean oil exports. Either way, I expect them to be rather low. So lower soybean oil price will pull down soybean prices to some degree. So there is an expectation that as overall soybean supplies increase over the next year or two, that will pull down soybean prices to some degree. Of course, that's all very weather dependent, policy dependent, everything else. But right now, we have fairly low stocks in the U.S. and some expectation of low stocks in South America at the end of their marketing year. But as we continue to rebuild some stocks, that should pull down prices to some degree around the world. So I would say it's a decrease in quantity demanded, not necessarily a decrease in demand. I think the demand's there, the supply wasn't. So the market had higher prices to encourage rationing. So I think the demand outlook for soybean oil looks very strong. We have policy in the United States. We're seeing an increase in crushing for renewable diesel to provide more. Canada just passed their own low carbon fuel standard to encourage more biofuel consumption. And so as you look around the world, the demand is there. The demand growth is there. So now it's a matter of supplying that. And I think the industry is responding. A lot of the issue this past year has just been weather related. So I think once we get past those weather issues, I think we'll continue to see demand numbers grow. So we have heard the same concerns in the United States. Fortunately, our soybeans are very sustainable. We don't have deforestation issues to increase soybean area in the United States. Our policies generally account for that as well. Soybeans had to meet GHG emission reductions to qualify for our national program. They do, and that considers land use changes. The California program, where a lot of renewable diesel is consumed, also accounts for indirect land use change. So a lot of those sustainability concerns. Now, that hasn't stopped some groups from still bringing that forward. And so California is talking about putting a cap on some virgin vegetable oils. It's just in the discussion phase at this point. But we contend that their program already accounts for it. There are numbers; it's already baked into the system. So the science, let the science work in that case. But no, some of the rhetoric is coming to the top here, but really the program's already tried to account for that. So we're hopeful that that'll win out at the end of the day.